My family to Northside LDN Caramba. Today we got Arsenal 5, Man City 1. And listen, we take the win. We take the win. The second half, definitely a performance that we can build upon. Definitely a performance that we need to apply to our next games going forward. Because yes, we still need a striker. Yes, we still need to fix the bench. But Lewis Skelly and Ethan absolutely put in. Some of the players that Arteta brought to the club in utter shame. Ethan, way more effective than Sterling when we was told. Sterling said we're going to see another side of Sterling. We don't need to see another side of you, bro. Ethan is a starter. Lewis Skelly is a starter. And not only for the goals, just the way that they played. Lewis Skelly today was absolutely excellent today. Driving forward, a lot of times he was trying to look for Havertz that had probably the worst game out of everyone. Kai Havertz was absolutely shocking, but we still win despite Kai Havertz's shocking performances. And Lewis Skelly, the way he drives forward, doesn't leave space in behind, tracks his man, marks his man, defensively solid, doesn't put us under any stupid pressure, doesn't get drawn into a high line when he doesn't need to. Excellent, bro. Better than Calafiori, better than all the left backs that we got at the club currently, and he come from the academy. The academy boys have to start. I don't care. Arteta needs to drop his pride. I'm happy that Lewis Skelly started today. But Ethan has to start. Ethan is levels above Martinelli, levels above Sterling, and levels above Trossard. The guy is consistent, even with limited minutes, and we've seen it all season. And this guy needs to be rewarded with starts. Lewis Skelly is getting rewarded with starts, and Ethan deserves to be rewarded with starts as well. In the first half, I'm going to keep it completely honest, because that's what I always do. First half, we were wasteful. There was so many errors from the centre-backs at Man City, Stones and Akanji. And yes, we capitalised on one, but to be honest, in the first half, we could have been at least 3-0 up. At least 3-0 up. We went 1-0 up from the goal that we've got from Odegaard, which was an Akanji mistake. Havertz passing it to Odegaard and made it 1-0. And it was just like we were just thinking it out. The first half was poor. We weren't clinical enough. We didn't put them to the sword. And it looked like we were just defending a 1-0 lead. And that is my biggest frustration with this match, is that when you're on top, when the opposition, which Man City were making howling decisions, howling passing out from the back, we should have capitalized on that. Kai Havertz shooting it straight at the goalkeeper from the first minute. You have to do better. You're the highest earner at the club. You're our main striker. Obviously, I already said that I want another striker. It is what it is. That's the only thing I didn't like about the first half. That was the main thing. Kai Havertz missing 1v1 opportunities with the goalkeeper. Too many opportunities he missed going through on goal. Not good enough. Getting barged off the ball way too easily. Do you know what I'm saying? Odegaard as well with the pass into Martinelli. He should have released that a lot faster. Held onto the ball way too much. Yeah, I'm saying way too indecisive from him. In the first half, there was a lot to be frustrated at. We had a lot of opportunities that were getting given to us by Man City. Second half was completely different. 4 goals in the second half. We were more clinical, we was more direct, and we took our opportunities. Very different to how we played in the first half, where as soon as we got the first goal, we're just sitting back. You know what I mean? Odegaard, like I said, Odegaard to Martinelli. Martinelli actually took that goal very well, and he deserved that goal. He put himself in a very good position to take advantage of that goal. But Odegaard obviously delayed that for so long that it was offside. Martinelli even held back his run to try and receive that ball. But like I said, in the first half as well, City with a corner, Vardio with a header. Great save by David Raya, man. Great save by David Raya. That was close range as well. That was an excellent save by David Raya. And at a time in the game where it could have changed. It could have changed. The game could have went the other way. You know what I mean? Because we wasn't capitalizing on our chances in the first half. But David Raya, excellent save. Rice with a great tackle. You know what I'm saying? A good game again. Once again, a good game from Declan Rice. Great tackle to pass it into Havertz. And he just hits it wide. And this is what I was talking about Havertz being so wasteful in the second half. That was literally, Rice got you in a 1v1 opportunity with the goalkeeper. You need to be burying that. I'm sorry, you have to be burying that. Luckily, listen, we got away with it today. But this is why we still need a striker. We still need a proper gunman up front. You know what I mean? Vardio with a cross into Silva. He almost taps it in, but Lewis Skelly does well to recover that and clear it, and puts his body in the way. Odegaard with an absolute hospital pass to Savio that he almost scores. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is one of Odegaard's best performances. I actually don't think he played that well today. The hospital pass out from the back, we almost conceded because of Odegaard. But that was the first half. Very frustrating with the amount of chances that we just didn't take. Second half, listen, big up to the guys. Big up to the boys, because it was a lot better in the second half. We put them to the sword. We took our goals really, really well. And players, even Ethan coming on in the 82nd minute, 83rd minute, came on and took his opportunities. And Ethan's been treated like this the whole season. He's been putting in great performances in the cups, against Preston, against Bolton, and then he gets benched and only getting on the pitch for 10 minutes, the last 15 minutes. And even with limited time, you can see the quality about this kid. This kid is a baller, bro. The guy has quality, bro. It's the way that he plays in the number 10 or as a winger. He always a right winger, bro. Like his natural instinct, when he cuts in with that left foot, bro, the guy is deadly on that left foot. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, even when Saka gets back, Ethan stays in the squad, man. Ethan stays in the squad. I just like what the kid brings to the team. He's decisive. He makes the right decisions at the right time. When there's an opening to pass, he passes it. When there's an opening for a shot, he takes the shot. The kid is a star. Lewis Skelly as well, man. This guy was driving forward how many times, passing the ball to Kai Havertz, and the guy was just running back. Lewis Skelly would drive through all the team, get us to the final third, pass it to Havertz, and then Havertz would just turn backwards and just pass it to flipping Declan Rice or pass it back to Partey. I'm sorry, the kid is a talent, man. He's a talent, defensively and offensively. The second half, you know what I'm saying? Saliba, poor positioning. He was beat by Saliba. He was beat by Haaland. Saliba was beat by Haaland just based on the positioning. The fact that that you're not in front of the attacker and you're already allowing him to get the jump on you, that is what already lost us. You know what I mean? Lost us that opportunity. And obviously Haaland took the header and it was 1-1. But the way the team reacted after that, I have to give them props. There are parts of our game that do frustrate me, that I don't like, which is sometimes trying to protect the 1-0 lead. I don't like that approach. I think that's risky. Today we got away with it because the players turned up in the second half. But that first half, you get opportunities, you need to be burying your opportunities. That first half, we were dominating in terms of the opportunities that we were getting. Yes, City had certain opportunities, but they weren't putting their opportunities to bed. And the second half, Thomas Partey with a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a shot, man, from Thomas Partey, bro. Big up to Thomas Partey. This is why I said, yo, I don't know how we're allowing him to run down his contract, bro. The guy is quality, bro. One of our most consistent players when he plays in the midfield. And this is why I don't want Thomas Partey as a right back. This guy is effective when you play him through the middle. He always has the opportunity to score a goal. And defensively, some of the tackles that Thomas Partey put in today as well, excellent. The way he was recovering the ball, winning the ball back, excellent. Stop wasting him as a right back. Put him on the Deus. Stop wasting him as a right back. We already know his best position. He's a player with experience playing as a DM. You get the best out of Partey when you play him in his natural position. I do not want to see him again at right back. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to see him. And the way he took that goal, yes, it got a deflection, but you build your luck. You make your luck. If he doesn't take the shot, he doesn't get the luck. Do you know what I'm saying? So big up Thomas Partey, man, because he deserved that. Yeah, I'm saying he deserved that. Great performance from Thomas Partey and Declan Rice as well. I'm not going to, just because Declan Rice didn't get on the score sheet, I think Declan Rice was excellent today, played really well today. Do you know what I'm saying? So great from the both of them. Lewis Skelly, you know what I'm saying? He created his opportunity as well from nothing, runs into the box, cuts in on his right foot and just takes the shot. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? Ethan, Skelly, they're showing qualities that we're not seeing from our wingers, bro. Trossard was getting bossed the whole game. Let's be real. He was getting doubled up on by Silva and Nunes, and he wasn't able to do anything. And then you see Lewis Skelly taking his opportunities. You see Ethan taking his opportunities. And the way that they took their goals, both goals, excellent. I know the keeper got a hand to Lewis Skelly's shot. But, bro, it's what I'm saying, man. The kids, man, they're coming up. They got something to fight for. You know, they ain't got mega wages and clout. They're trying to build their careers. And these are the players that we should be giving and rewarding more minutes to. Lewis Skelly, Ethan, players that actually care, that actually have something to fight for. They're not only fighting for the club, but they're fighting for themselves, their own career. And big up to them, man. Big up to them. I want to now see Ethan get rewarded the way I'm seeing Skelly getting rewarded with starting games. I know Ethan started against Girona, but it was a game that, you know, more than we were going to go through in the Champions League at that point anyway. Yeah, Ethan deserves more minutes, man. He deserves to start more games. This guy's been performing, you know what I'm saying, ever since he got some minutes at the start of this season. I want to see more from this guy, man, because the guy is an absolute talent, bro. Absolute talent. And he's got everything that we lack from our wingers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Lewis Skelly, bro, I can't praise him enough, man, because we've been calling for someone like this. And it kind of reminded me of Tini, because Tini, when he was available, and when he didn't have all the injuries and the problems with the injuries. Tierney was great going forward, but he's also very good defensively. Do you know what I'm saying? And now it looks like we found somebody that's just as good in Lewis Skelly, you know, that could possibly become even better. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think Timber played really well. The backline played really well. Declan Rice played extremely well. Do you know what I'm saying? Extremely well. We weren't asking Declan Rice to create, wasn't asking him to dribble out from the back. We just let Declan Rice do what Declan Rice has the actual attributes to do, which is win the ball back, pass it to somebody that can progress the ball, somebody that can actually do the Hollywood passes or can actually spot defense splitting passes. That is the best way. That is the best form of getting, you know, the most out of Declan Rice. He's not a Partey type player. He's somebody that just wins the ball back, is very good at that, and lets everybody else that's attacking players work their magic going forward. And Martinelli on the counter with a pass to Havertz, he scored his goal. But I'm sorry, this guy misses way too many opportunities. Let's just keep it 100% real. He misses way too many opportunities. Yeah, you scored your goal, but that's after missing 3 or 4 1v1s with the goalkeeper. Not good enough. That kind of consistency is exactly what's going to make us not win the league. You miss way too many opportunities, bro. And I'm not talking about half chances. Kai Havertz today missed 1v1s with the goalkeeper. That ain't good enough. I'm still happy that we won the game, but these are things that need to be corrected. And this guy is just not he's not a gunman. For anyone that even wants to tell me any pukaria about, oh no, sir, but maybe, but he could do that. Newcastle pukaria, bro. This guy, the goal does not absorb him of all the chances that he missed. Do you know what I'm saying? Before that. And he missed a bag of chances, bro. A bag of chances. Right now, we're looking at flipping Lewis Skelly, Ethan, and these men being more clinical than Kai Havertz. And this guy is on 260, 280 a week. Sorry, nah. You've got the big wages. You have to put up the big numbers. You have to be clinical. You have to do your job. You have to do your job today. You have to do your job. And today, he wasn't good enough. With the amount of chances, out of 5 chances to only score 1, this is exactly why everyone's calling for a clinical goal scorer, because we can't rely on you. Can't rely on you. Ethan, the way he slapped that, came onto the pitch, only had a couple of minutes, and he affects the game, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? The way he just cut in on his left-hand foot and just slapped it bottom corner, the guy's a talent, bro. The guy's a talent, and he has things that you can't teach. He knows how to anticipate a pass. He knows when to see he knows when to see chances. He knows when to make the right call. These are things that you have to naturally have. This is what I'm saying about Ethan, man. He's just a player that has quality that you can't teach. You know what I'm saying? You cannot teach. So for me, I'm sorry, going forward, Ethan has to start. I've been calling for Ethan to start. Ethan has to start, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Ethan has to start. But overall, listen, there was parts of this game that were a bit boring. We was defending. I expected us to defend the hell out of this game. The first half, like I said, the first half wasn't great. It wasn't great due to the opportunities that we squandered and we didn't take. Like Kai Havertz smacking it straight at the goalkeeper. Kai Havertz 1v1 with the goalkeeper again. 1v1 with the goalkeeper and he smashes it wide. Yeah, when he had all the time in the world. These are things that need to be rectified. We still need to go out there and get us a Gyökeres and get us a clinical goal scorer. And there's still players that are getting minutes that don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And there's players that do deserve getting into the team that need more minutes. Ethan needs more minutes. I'm tired of Ethan being subbed on in the 80th minute, 82nd minute, 85th minute. He has to be starting games, bro. So listen, Declan Rice, great performance. Thomas Partey, great performance. Odegaard, not great today. Not great today. Sorry. Too many times you're under hitting the pass. Martinelli actually wasn't that bad. There was a through ball for Martinelli into Kai Havertz. And then Kai Havertz just loses the ball, falls over, loses the ball, looks for a free kick. Not good enough. Martinelli actually wasn't that bad. He also took his goal pretty well. That was ruled offside. I don't think he was that bad today. Trossard today doubled up on Anonymous for a lot of the game. You know, he was trying to get around the players, but sometimes holding the ball too much. But overall, you know, we got over the line, man. We got over the line. One of our better performances this season. And yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm going to put the link out for anyone that does want to jump on. But yeah, I mean, we need to just stop doing this. You know, we got one goal and we just try to protect that one goal. I want to see us build from what we did in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Create opportunities. You know, a lot of opportunities, especially when the opposition are handing us those opportunities. Yeah, I'm saying we need to be more clinical. We need to make sure that we're ruthless. You know what I'm saying? And we put those teams to bed, man. That's what we need to be doing. So big up to everyone that's locked in, man. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Hold on, bare people are joining. Big up to everyone locked in. Hold on, let me let everyone in. Let me let everyone in. Hold on. What are you man saying, bro? What are you man saying?
Yo, man, today
Yo.
was a good day for me, at least. I would say. Listen, man, Ajax won today against Feyenoord, our big rivals, huge points, and of course, we gave City five. Hey, City, y'all can hold five. Let Booker T now. You know what I'm saying? It's not your year, unfortunately. But hey, listen, man. Arteta, you cannot get around the Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri anymore. I'm sorry. It's time. It's time for them to get more game time. Start games. You know what I'm saying? It's time. It's time. If they perform like that against a City, say what you want about City this season. They're still City. They're the defending champions. Come on, man.
Yeah, we are.
They are the future. Come on, they are the future. These guys, trust them. Trust them. You see what they can do. You see the ability that they have at such a young age. Age don't matter. I've said this plenty of times. If you're good at that age, you deserve game time. Lamine Yamal as well. Whoever. If you're that good at 17 and 18, you deserve so much game time, man. Oh man, I'm more than happy with this win. Of course, there's still problems. Like, of course, we still need a striker because we still have Havertz up front who does his best JaVale McGee impression every time he's on the field. But he scored a goal today. And I know people are going to say, oh, yeah, but he scored today. We don't need a striker no more. I know how it goes. This, like, round and round we go with this Havertz thing. You know, like, every time he scores, oh, we don't need a striker. Oh, yeah, Odegaard scored as well. Oh, yeah, we don't need a replacement for Odegaard. Yes, we do. We still need some quality in this team. Because I said, I just did my video, by the way, for people who are subscribed to me. Go check it out. I said that if you get somebody, right? I don't know how much time we have, but if you get a striker, right? If you get somebody of quality, who says we cannot beat Newcastle or St. James Park? Who says we cannot do something in the league? Who says we cannot do something in the Champions League? If you get somebody that can bag in these goals, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's all the way possible because you never know with football. At the end of the day, it's so unpredictable with sports, you know? Like, who would have thought that Luka Doncic would go to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, sports is so unpredictable, but just get a striker and maybe you can do something. That's all we missing right now. Somebody who can bag in these goals constantly because Havertz, he's going to have a goal here and there, but consistent he is not. We've seen that for years, even before he joined us at Arsenal. At Chelsea, we've seen it before. You know, we have trouble scoring, but get a true bagman, get a Gyökeres, get a whoever. Not Sesko. I don't rate Sesko. Sorry. Isak, just get somebody who's actually like a proven scorer. I would even take Chris Wood at this rate because Chris Wood he's bagging for Nottingham. I might as well. He got 20 goals now. Like, come on. Everything better than Havertz. I'm sorry. Like, as much as he tries, he's just not good enough. You know, we need a true bagman. And, you know, but City, man, I feel bad for City a little bit, just because I know the quality that they have. And it looks like
you feel bad for City. Speak for yourself.
Hey, I'm happy with the win, but the thing is, you know, the quality that they have, they just bought Marmoush and he hasn't brought anything yet. You know, Pep is spiraling, bro. LB, any City fan, y'all need better help. Like, trust me, like get Pep to a psychiatrist. Trust me, because it's not looking good for him, bro. It's looking bad for him. I never seen him this bad. Not even at Bayern or whatever. This is the worst I've seen Pep. This is actually the worst I've seen him in. This is awful. But hey, they can hold 5 like Booker T. I said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm more than happy with this win, but not overly satisfied because we still have to be realistic with what we have now. And if there's anybody coming in, I just hope, but I just know this club is not going to do it. But hey, I'm happy with this win, dog.
No, I hear that, bro. I wanna let everyone have their say. So I'm gonna let everyone have their say, and then when everyone's had their say, we can all talk, and do you know what I mean? So it doesn't go crazy. But Carl, I want to get your thoughts on this game because personally, I felt like at times we wasn't making the most out of the mistakes from their back line in the first half. Some of the opportunities that we were creating were getting gifted to us, and we just wasn't taking advantage of that. At times as well, it felt like we were trying to defend the 1-0. I felt like the first half overall wasn't that great. I think the second half we took initiative. We were a lot more direct. Yes, City were poor, but you still have to take your opportunities. I can see that City were poor, but we still have to put our chances away. When there's opportunities to be taken, you have to put them away. A bit like the Bournemouth game against Liverpool, they created a whole load of opportunities to score, but they didn't score. You know, the most important thing, they didn't score. I think there was one or two players today that weren't that great, weren't at it, but regardless of that, we still made sure that we walked away with the 3 points convincingly. What'd you make of the game today, bro?
Yeah, the first half you're absolutely spot on. I've never seen this sort of Man City team give the ball away so cheaply and without a lack of responsibility. But we don't have a gunman up top, so we can't finish our shots. And that first half was a dictionary definition example of the fact that we still need a striker. I just think through that first half, it was like, okay, we're kind of struggling here. City getting back into the game. They're controlling the pace of the game. We were very good defensively. We set up ourselves in a way that they couldn't penetrate us in any way, which is good. But when it came to like trying to break forward, we were sponsored by Imodium Instance today because we had no runners in that first half. It was bad. It was awful. We're expected when you play a team like Man City, you need to play 1-2 transition football from back to front. You've got to do that because you will have to play that sort of style of football against City if you're going to get anything out of that game. But that first half is a prime example. Kai Havertz, I mean, my 3-year-old was in the room and I almost said the "see you next Tuesday" word. I would have got in big trouble for that. So yeah, I was just
like that sometimes.
My son said to me, "You all right, Daddy?" I said, "Yeah, we just got a donkey in our team. It's all right, son." So it was absolutely stupid. At the second half I always say this, Northside, if Partey doesn't score that second goal, I don't think we'd have run away with the game as we say we would. Because remember, City got back into the game with the Haaland header, which is again poor marking by William Saliba. You don't let the attacker get in front of the defender. That's pretty much game over, especially with Haaland's height. It's stupid. It's not good. But you look old Arsenal teams, they'd crack. They'd crack under pressure. So any sort of pressure gets to us, we fold. We fold like an accordion. We would just fold. But I was brilliant to see him in our first attack. And okay, it did take a wicked deflection. But Thomas Partey at least said, right, okay, we ain't getting through the channels here, so I'm just going to take a pop shot. Just take a pop shot. And been waiting for something like that to happen for a while. Partey got the goal. Brilliant. And then from that point forward, I don't think Arsenal looked back. It was like then they started playing 1-2 nice football. And I was like, well, where's this been all bloody season? Oh, now we do it against Manchester City. But Lewis Skelly, Ethan Emery, these kids are making the scrubs of Odegaard, Havertz look really, really bad. But Lewis Skelly, I thought he was going up against Nunez. I thought he was going to be for a real rough day today. But Jesus, this kid, he's only 17. This kid is absolutely unbelievable for what he done today. Great transition with the football. Brilliant going forward and brilliant going forward. So brilliant defending and brilliant going forward as well. I was just annoyed every time that the ball got to like Havertz or Trossard, the ball just kept going back. After everything Lewis Skelly done on that left-hand side, it was just absolutely so frustrating to say the least. But Lewis Skelly also took his chance as well. Again, it's not Ortega's fault that he's got tortilla wraps for hands, because that he should be saving that. Ortega should be saving that shot. That's poor wrists. He really had poor wrists there. And then Arsenal just took it on and just they. We always say, this team needs to start putting teams to the sword. We need 3, 4, 5, 6 goals. And that was the first time this season Arsenal put a team to the sword and literally killed them off. And this is what we've been screaming for a long, long time now. Ethan Emery with a fantastic goal as well. That kid is special. He has to start against Newcastle. I do not want Martinelli starting on that right-hand side. Put Ethan Emery on that right-hand side, and let's and let's channel in what he can possibly do, because the kid's brilliant, the kid's special. Lewis Skelly, I thought Lewis Skelly might have come off a little bit earlier because he looked like he was tiring. He looked like he was blowing a gasket. But overall, I'm very, very happy with the performance. But let's celebrate. It's a really good evening. But let's also not forget as well, transfer deadline day shuts at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and we still haven't bought a striker. Let's not
no one in period.
Let's not get carried away with the situation. Great, we got the win. We're 9 points ahead of Man City. We're only 6 points now behind Liverpool. But we need to keep this up now. It's all about consistency. Yeah. If you keep up with the consistency, keep the pressure on Liverpool as much as you can. But I don't see Liverpool dropping off anytime soon. I mean, it's going to take a monumental collapse for them to bottle the league.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you, because we've seen us play good football. Today, there was times where certain goals weren't team goals. I think Ethan created his own luck for that goal. He created that by himself. It wasn't a team goal. When you look at Partey, that was himself. No one created that for him. He took the shot from long range. Even Lewis as well. Like, I feel like Lewis Skelly as well. He created that goal for himself. He took on Stones and then he shot. So we made some good goals, but I still think we need to work on our patterns of play and creating opportunities. Even in the first half, those opportunities were gifted to us from absolute hospital passes from the goalkeeper for City, from Akanji, from Stones. But you still have to take your opportunities. Yeah, I agree that you still have to take your opportunities, but those opportunities were given to us from players just taking their own initiative and playing outside the system. They're just like, you know what, I'm going to take a shot. And I want to see more of this, because normally the players are very robotic, pass it side to side, side to side. We'll only shoot when we're in the box. So I'm happy to see Lewis Skelly taking a shot. I said happy to see Ethan taking a shot out of the box. I was happy to see Partey taking a shot as well. I think the players were taking it more upon themselves to actually win the game and not just be like, okay, we'll just work within the limitations that the manager's given us and be very robotic. So in that aspect, I was happy on that aspect. But that stuff, we've seen this team play like this before. We've seen us score a load of goals. But then there was a lot of opportunities that we missed in this game as well against other opposition. They may get back into the team, especially against a Man City team that's very, very poor. What do you make of this game, bro? Is this something that we can build on, especially the second half? What do you make of the game?
Yeah, there's something we could probably do. But first and foremost, big up yourself, big up everyone on the panel, big up the chat. I want to make these really important points here. This has been long overdue. Like with Chelsea, you remember back in the day, the 6-0s and all of that. We've been battered, pillars, post, whatever. I know that's an old school saying, or whatever. And then we battered them 5-0 and it should have been 10. This game should have been at least 8-2. But we get 8 this time. Like that German giraffe donkey up front, yeah? I don't care if he scored today. For me, he's done. Like, you can talk about confidence, you can talk about this, you can talk about that, whatever. Yeah? For me, he ain't it. If there was any doubt in anyone's mind that this guy ain't it, it was today. By far the worst play on the pitch. Because everyone else, maybe other than, in my eyes, Erdegaard, holding on to the ball too long, a few passes going astray, pretty much same old, same old. Like, it wasn't a shambles today. Obviously not, we won 5-1. But key moments, we turned up. And I also want to say this. I was really glad to see that the players took it upon themselves to win the game, rather than just listening to Lego Head and just be like, oh, we've got to be here, we've got to be there, we've got to be here. Fuck all of that shit. How about take some fucking responsibility? That's all I want to see from this team, because that's how you win the big trophies. And today, tonight, whatever, they did that. But I want to see that every single week, every single game. And I know we'll probably get to the Newcastle game later, but we've got other bigger games coming up, in the Champions League. I want to see that shit. Other games in the Premier League that we need to win. April, and then the few games left in May before the end of the season. I want to see that shit. But are we going to see that shit? Probably not, because all this proves that we've got over the City hurdle, innit? In a big way tonight. Cool. Great performance. Rice was brilliant. Partey was brilliant. Ethan has to start, but we know this. Lewis Skelly ain't a left back, but again, he played very well today. Like, we've got the transfer deadline day tomorrow, innit? You know, closes at 11. You know, that's when the window's shut. But are we going to get a Gyökeres? Are we going to get a Watkins? Are we going to get any other strike? Even a Morata for 10 mil at this point. Even a Morata. You know, we could have got Osherman before he went to Galatasaray on loan. We just need someone that will take the chances that Havertz won't take. Like, Havertz scored one today, but he had like 3-4 chances or whatever. In other games, he's had a lot more chances and not put any away, or maybe put one away, or maybe put 2 away. But this game shows to me clearly that we can create them chances and we can take the game upon ourselves. You know, the players, they come together and they're just like, pause, bum what the manager says. We're going to win this game. We're going to take the initiative and put them to the sword, which is what they did. But again, it should have been more. So what I want to see going forward is when things don't go our way, so whatever happens, let's say for argument's sake, at Newcastle on Wednesday, right? Even if they do, let's say, go a goal up, fuck all of the U-shaped football, stay in the margins kind of bollocks, right? I want to see them go at it, because Newcastle have shown this season, albeit in the Premier League, that they can be got out of their gaff. And if we play the way that we did in the second half specifically, I don't see why we can't win that game.
Score two
penalties.
Score 2 goals in the first.
Under Wenger, even under Wenger, yeah, we used to see Bergkamp and Henry at times playing outside of the system that Wenger set. Yeah, but he was rewarded because they had the quality and they had the balls to be like, I'm gonna win us the game. How many times would we see Thierry Henry just take on 2-3 players? Do you know what I'm saying? Run the whole length of the pitch and just go, yo, I'm winning us this game. We're not getting any joy running through the channels. We're not getting any joy running through the middle. I'm going to take it upon myself. You know what I mean?
Remember that Liverpool game? Remember that Liverpool game in the Invincible season? We were out of the FA Cup. I think it was against Man United. We lost that. And then obviously the infamous Chelsea in the quarterfinals. The title was on the line. The run was on the line. It was all on the line. And then like Liverpool scored a couple of goals. I think Owen scored them both. And then TT was like, bun this. I'm going to win this game. How many players in this squad do we genuinely have? Yeah, we showed bits and pieces today, but how many players can we generally say, like, look, when things aren't going our way, I'm going to win this game. He's going to win this game. He's going to win this game.
I think
we don't have really any. Like
we have Ethan, which is a young player, and that is why we don't want to consistently rely on him. But then at the same time, we have to build a platform for him to keep showing how good he is. And I think the reason I really like Ethan is because even with limited minutes in the Premier League, this is now twice he's come on with limited minutes and changed the game. Well, not changed the game because he came on was already winning, but added to the game, you know, scoring goals, getting himself on the score sheet, getting himself involved in the game. And that's what I like about the young guy, that even with limited minutes, he's got that hunger to show his quality with limited minutes. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people say, oh, you need to bring a player on, you know, if you're going to bring a player, change a game or to add to the game, bring him on with 30 minutes to go or 40 minutes to go. This guy continuously comes on with 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go max. And he continues to perform.
It's not good enough.
He has to continue, bro. And Lewis Skelly, maybe Lewis Skelly, if he continues to develop the way he's developing, he could also develop how Saka was. Because Saka started developing as a fullback when he wasn't a fullback. And then he transitioned into a winger. But we have to give these players a platform. I'm glad that Lewis Skelly started today. But we need to give them a chance because they are outperforming players here that are on bigger wages, have been are more seasoned veterans, have played in the men's game for a lot longer, and yet they're being more effective. We're getting more out of Skelly and Lewis than we are the majority.
And also, they're technically better. Ethan is levels above Havertz. I would say he's technically better than Odegaard. Fight me on it. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. If he's not starting against against Newcastle on Wednesday, there will be problems. There genuinely will be problems because, like you said, Northside, I fully agree. Lewis Skelly, Ethan, Smith Rowe when he was with us before last season and previous seasons, Reece Nelson even to a lesser degree. We've had players from the academy, younger players that we've brought in from other clubs that have shown signs of promise, done well, got the tech and all of that. But for whatever reason, usually favoritism, we don't give them fucking chances. Now is the time. Arteta talks about, well, yeah, like we're like really close to winning and this and that and the third. Well, now's the time to deliver. You know, put your bollocks on the table and deliver. Pause. It's time to show your mettle, guys. Literally, like we're at the point of the season, right? That great win, you know, a statement win, I call it. So against Newcastle on Wednesday, we got to win that. In the Champions League, whoever we're playing, we got to win that. All the other games in the Premier League before we play Chelsea again, Man United again, Liverpool again for sure. Because in order to win the league, we're going to have to beat Liverpool at Anfield. When was the last time we did that?
2012.
No, I hear
There
that.
you go. There you go.
I hear that. Macy, we're gonna go Macy next. Macy, what'd you make of this game, bro? Is you there, Macy?
It's back.
Oh, bit on offside. Sorry about that. It's just so yeah, as you point, I was watching the game with you tonight, and it wasn't a very good game, but at least we got the job done. But on Wednesday, this is the most important game for us because we have to beat Newcastle, because if we want to win a cup game this season, we have to win the League Cup, because this is a stepping stone for us, because it can't always be about the Premier League. We have to go and win every cup, because we are out of the FA Cup, but our main focus is the League Cup, because if we don't perform like we did today against Man City, then we will absolutely get humiliated by Newcastle. And the interesting fact is that Newcastle earlier today lost 2-1 to Fulham at St. James's Park. So we shouldn't get carried away, because even though they lost at St. James's Park, they could easily turn us over the same way they did at the Emirates. So we shouldn't get carried away. And there are two players that I will call out, but rest of them, all of them, Lewis Skelly, Partey, Rice, all terrific today. Like, they were absolutely brilliant. David Raya as well, a man of the match performance from him. He was keeping us in the game, because the amount of times Savio was dinking past that left-hand side, Raya knew exactly how to keep him quiet. So big up to David Raya for keeping us in the game. Lewis Skelly, a masterful performance from this kid, but his main position is midfield. But I know why Arteta persists with him at left back, because the only three left backs we have are Kivior, Zinchenko, and Calafiori. So that's the reason why he's choosing to put Skelly at left back. But big up to him for getting his very first goal in the Premier League. Declan Rice, absolute brilliant from him. He was commanding that midfield, and he laid it on a plate for that German giraffe. And that Chelsea giraffe should have scored the second goal, but all he did was he blasted it so wide. And I don't know what the hype around this guy, the Freddie Mercury looking guy, is. I mean, what does he even do for this football club, apart from the fact that he scored one goal today? But it just shows that the level of this football club, that they still are persisting. They still think that Havertz is the key for them, and they still think that they don't need a striker. But Kai Havertz and Odegaard, those two, like, they are just they exemplify on what is wrong with this football club. And people will basically say that, but why are you guys moaning? Havertz and Odegaard scored. Well, the reason Odegaard scored is because Akanji passed it to him, and he scored easily. So don't get too overgassed that Odegaard scored and the creative spark is back. He's not back. He's still the same, like galloping, like taking too many touches, hair flicks and all that. He's still the same Odegaard. He ain't good enough for this football club. And we as a football club need to start removing him from the captaincy, because for me, that guy ain't qualified of being the captain. If
100%.
any, if
100%.
anyone, if anyone should be the captain of Arsenal, it's Gabriel, because even though he was at fault for Haaland's goal for the equalizer, he didn't let his head drop. He kept fighting, he kept defending for his life, and he was keeping Saliba and the rest and all the other defenders like organized. So if anyone should be the captain of Arsenal, it's Gabriel. Big up to him for keeping his head in the game and not letting that equalizing goal fool him. So I'm happy for that. But on Wednesday, as I said, we have to beat Newcastle at St. James's Park. And if we get knocked out, this manager needs to be called out on Wednesday, and someone from the journalist board needs to ask him he needs to ask him an appropriate question. Do you still think you need a striker? And Arteta should just say to himself, as a man, say, yes, I do need a striker. But if he wants to continue with this whole next question, please. I just don't know why he's not ready to ask back if he desperately really wants a striker. Then he should have the balls to say it to the journalism. But no, he just wants to basically skip to the part and say, let's move on to the next question. I mean,
you know what it's like, man. You know what it's like with him, bro. He gets rattled when he's asked about these questions, but in reality, that first half exactly shows why we need a clinical goal scorer. Yeah, we turned up in the second half, but turning up in the second half, in most games, a lot of the times the game has gone by and the opposition's got back into the game. It's not every game you're going to get back into the game in the second half. That's not something you can consistently hang your hat on and say, okay, well, we'll turn up in the second half. No, you have to be consistent for 90 minutes. And yes, today it's gone for us. And listen, at the same time, Man City at times handed us the opportunity to get one goal and stuff like that. Yeah, we still have to take our goals. The players still have to take their opportunities. We can respect that, but at the same time, we need to be able to perform for 90 minutes. And this season, we've been very rocky and up and down and inconsistent in a lot of games. This is why we're being judged, because we've dropped points at Bournemouth, we dropped points at Newcastle, we dropped points at Brighton, we dropped points at teams that we're expected to win. We're expected to beat them. 5 years deep, we're expecting to beat them. And this is why we're complaining, because ultimately, no matter how people try and gas this up, we still need a bench to be fixed. We still need a clinical striker. We still need competition for certain positions. This result doesn't change anything. And if anyone gets excited, this is what happened when we was 8 points clear. When we was in the league title, we're 8 points clear. And people told us it was a 10 out of 10 January. And then at the end, why did we crumble? Oh, because we didn't address the weaknesses in the team. So if people want to do game-to-game analysis and change their mind based on that, well, then don't be surprised at the end of the season if we fall short to the reasons that we fell short last season, because we're not addressing the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the team and the fact that we have not strengthened in certain areas. Today, we're happy with the win. We'll take the win. Yeah, it's all good. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that we still ask for that have not been addressed. You know what I'm saying? And we literally have 1 day left to address that. We're going to go Rashid, and then we'll go Strasbourg, Steve, and then we'll go AJ. Rashid, go on, bro. What's your thoughts on the game, bro?
Listen, man, big up to everyone. Big up the whole panel, bro. We can enjoy this victory today. It's just a battle, people. It's not the war. I'm happy that we beat a team like City, because City used to humiliate us, bro. They used to take the piss, bro. They used to beat us like 5-1. They used to beat us every time we meet them, bro.
Sorry, Rashid, I forgot quickly. Big up to everyone that's joined from Lee's raid. Big up to Lee as well. Big up to everyone that's joined from Lee's raid. Big up
the raid.
Sorry, go on.
100. Big up Lee, man. But bro, listen, we can enjoy it. Of course, it's a battle. That's how I'm gonna say. But I'm happy that we clapped back. You know what I'm saying? At Man City, I want to see us beat these teams that used to, like Chelsea, City. They used to humiliate us. They used to beat us. Now we're clapping back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All we need is to fix the attack. Don't worry about the defense. We're all right. Just get a little tweak here and there. Get someone to cover for the centre backs. Get another left back. We're good for defense, bro. We're good for next at least next 6 years. if we're ambitious enough to keep these players. I think they did very, very well, our defense today. Obviously, it's hard to mark Haaland the whole game. People take the piss out of Haaland, but Haaland, bro, it is hard to mark him the whole game.
Bro, we
I think
gave him one
Saliba-
chance and he scored.
Yeah. Now, people take the piss, right? People take the piss out of Haaland, but like Haaland he's a problem, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a problem. And Saliba rarely gets done like that. You know what I'm saying? Saliba rarely gets done like that. Saliba does make mistakes. Maybe he'll give the ball to opposition, but like that, bro, he did him dirty with the little. After I saw the goal on the replay. But bro, listen, I'm happy to 5. I'm happy to 5-1. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that we clapped back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? Clap back, we gonna clap back, we gonna clap back, we ain't gonna. Listen, yo, bro, Man City used to humiliate us, guys. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna enjoy that at least about. Obviously, there's a lot of things that need to change. You know what I'm saying? They excuse me, sorry. There's a lot of things that need to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we could have been at least 2-0 up the first half. It didn't need to go the way it did. But I liked how Partey took that chance. Obviously, if that was Odegaard, he would have tried to pass the ball. He wouldn't have gone for the shot. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Look, listen, at the end of the day, we won the game. We need to move to Newcastle. The thing is, people, Newcastle play a different kind of football to Man City. See, Man City, we beat them because we're good at pressing. We've got Rice that can press, Martinelli that presses, Odegaard that presses, Partey that presses. Obviously, you know who I didn't mention because he don't press. I don't know what he does. But that guy, I don't know what he does, really. Even Trossard is trying to press. You get what I'm trying to say? That's why he's frustrated.
Yeah,
Trossard
we pressed well
like
this game. Yeah, we did. You're right. We did press well to win the ball.
We did it against, bro, Mandem, we did it against Monaco, and we did it against Girona that tried to play the ball from the back, and we caught them. See, if a team tries to play the ball from the back, like these teams, we will catch them. But teams like Newcastle will struggle. Burnley, Southampton, Leicester City, teams that will stay and play their low block, and then we need to go open their defense and try to find a way to score. That's where we don't succeed. See, this 5-1 is buying Arteta a lot of time. I was just happy, but I thought about it as well. I was just happy right now, but then I thought about it. This will buy him a lot of time, this 5-1. Because people will be like, listen, see, we can beat teams like that. We can do something. But at the end of the day, bro, thank you God for this win. You know, let's hope we win against Newcastle. At least go to the Carabao Cup. I don't think we'll beat Newcastle, to be honest, even though we won 5-1 today, because Newcastle play a different kind of football. But that's a conversation for a different time. But yeah, big up everyone that's locked in. Hey, smash the likes up, people. Smash the likes
War
up,
ain't
people.
over. War ain't
Man,
over.
Enjoy the show,
I
man.
hear that though, man. I hear that though. But we're going Strasbourg, Steve. Then we'll go AJ. Then we'll go. Then we'll go AJ. Then we'll go AK. You know what I'm saying? So, Steve, what do you make of this, man? What do you make of this, bro? For me, you're a Benfica fan like me. To me, this is kind of like Benfica losing to Casapia and then winning against
Juve. Yeah, it's like two different teams, bro. It's like two different freaking teams. I was super impressed with the response from Arsenal once Man City scored, because I thought the game was kind of playing out like the Man City Chelsea game from not this weekend but last. Because you scored early, Chelsea scored early. They had a gilt-edged chance against City, Chelsea. They didn't take it. You had a gilt-edged chance with Havertz. Then the game kind of went Man City's way up until halftime. I thought halftime, and honestly, it was like deja vu. That's the word I'm looking for. It was very, very similar to the Man City Chelsea game. But the difference is, in the second half, even though they scored, you guys didn't let that bother you. And that's what I'm kind of worried about for Wednesday, is that the goal didn't phase you. It actually kickstarted you. It actually kickstarted you to go on and smack them up 5-1. It's super impressive. So, and look, when we played Fulham, again, it was a game that reminded me a lot of when Fulham went to Chelsea. Chelsea scored first. We scored first, but they hung in there, Fulham. They freaking hung in there. And then the second half, they get their 2 goals, and then they just kill off the game. You guys are capable of doing that for sure. So I'm super nervous about the game on Wednesday because of both of our clubs, like kind of results and performances this weekend. So yeah, Wednesday, I kind of feel like there's going to be an early goal. And for whoever that goes to, I think they advance. I think if we score first, then we'll have enough to keep it a draw or a narrow win or whatever. But you score first.
Yeah, because for anyone that doesn't know, Steve is also, I know he's got a Benfica shirt, he's a Benfica fan, he's also a Newcastle fan, yeah? As a Newcastle fan, for you, what went wrong against Fulham? And what can we, like Arsenal, use out of that game to try and beat you?
The pressure and the work off the ball. They didn't let Joe Ellington bother them. They kept it nice and rigid. Newcastle, Fulham played defensively. They only let us go narrow because out wide they had it covered brilliantly with Robinson and Castagna. Bassi and freaking Joachim Anderson, they did a freaking great job on Isak. Your center backs can do the same, and at fullback as well. You guys can do the same. So I think if you keep us rigid, if you don't allow Gordon out wide too much to get those crosses into Isak, then you definitely could. And that's what Fulham did to us. Because the game against Fulham on Saturday was back and forth in the first half for large parts of it. We never had firm control of the game, though. But that's what you guys can do. You guys can have firm control of games, even though it's at St. James's Park. Like, bro, everything changes with the results this weekend because I'm seeing Newcastle vulnerabilities of earlier this season when I wanted the manager out, and I still want Eddie Howe out since the Boxing Day loss to Forest 3-1. Yeah, I just haven't seen that same team. What? Yeah, Wood, man. Wood turned into Benzema that day. But seriously, ever since that day, aside from the winning streak that we've had at Newcastle that recently got ended by Bournemouth, we're just not that same team anymore consistently enough. And yeah, I really worry about Wednesday. I really do. But you guys have all the momentum. Yeah, bro. And the thing is, we're Newcastle, bro. We're the Northern Spurs. We bottle things. We did it in the 90s.
So do we.
That brilliant Tottenham team that Poch had that never won anything. That was Newcastle in the 90s with Shearer and Asprilla, Rob Lee, all those guys. So it's not like we don't have a history of bottling things. So I'm worried about Wednesday. Very worried.
Here's the thing, Steve. I just want to say this very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I have a soft spot for Newcastle because I've got a family member, or had a family member that supported Newcastle like for years and years and years. That was the first football shirt I actually got. The brown ale Newcastle. That was literally the first football shirt that I ever got. It wasn't an Arsenal one, believe it or not.
Oh wow!
Fun facts and all that shit. But yeah, anyway, like my issue with Newcastle, when I look at you guys, like you have the quality. The quality is there, especially in the first team. But there are certain key positions, and I'm looking at one in particular. You guys might know who I'm talking about. Jacob Murphy. I don't know what you think, and I really want to know what you think, Steve. But for me, he is bang average. But every now and then, he'll score a good goal, and we know he has that work rate. He's got that dogged work rate. But he seriously lacks.
He's not a top quality right winger, bro. He's not a Kubo. He's nowhere near a Nwaneri. He's nowhere near
Harvey Barnes. So your left side is good. Yeah. But then the right hand side, like, see, even with Saka injured, we've got better options on the right. As much of a thin squad that we have, we've got Ethan that can play on the right. Yeah. Martinelli can do okay, but I'd still rather have him up front. And then obviously when Saka comes back, he can play there. Havertz drifts on the right, but that donkey, I'm done with this club. But anyway, like, I know you've got restrictions with the whole PSR thing and all of that.
Yeah.
In terms of you've got that investment, you've got that Saudi investment, but because of the rules, like, you're not going to spend as much as you want to. But I think if you had like got someone like in that right wing other than Jacob Murphy, because I think Eddie Howe relies on him way too much, man, way too much. So I understand why you want him out, because when you have a guy like that who has
the in-game management with Eddie Howe that kills me too. It's the in-game management, and that's what I worry about for Wednesday. But go on.
Yeah, no, fair. No, that's pretty much it. Because your defense, when your defense is on it, and even with Dubravka, I think he's a pretty good keeper. And then obviously Pope, you know, like he can have his day here and there. And your midfield is better than ours. Like,
yeah, I was going to say that now.
Guimaraes and
Tonali.
Actually, Steve, I got a question.
Tonali, Bruno G, and Joelinton. Yeah.
Who's more important? Who's more important? Bruno G or Joelinton in that midfield?
I'd say Bruno G because he keeps the ball ticking and he does the defensive work like Joelinton. But Joelinton is very good aerially, obviously.
I don't need that.
Gigantic, but I'd say Bruno G is because he can also.
I've seen Newcastle without Joelinton. I've seen Newcastle without Joelinton. You guys suffered.
Yeah, and actually, he's been kind of off it the past few games, to be honest. Like against Bournemouth, he was not good, and against Fulham, he started out good, but then as the game wore on, it just felt like he was just fouling guys for the sake of it. And it's just like I get it, you're the bully, like that's your role and stuff, but like I need you to give me what's it called, like technical ability wise or passing ability wise. Sometimes he's just not on it. But yeah, I Tonali's the most important midfielder though of our trio.
Just believe,
him
and Bruno. That is a huge problem because it will be won and lost in that midfield, 100%.
Yeah.
Rice played brilliantly today, so did Partey. But even with that Rice, Partey, Odegaard, I'm not convinced when you have Bruno, Tonali, and even a Joelinton, we know can turn up as well. You got Joe Willock as well, who we gave you for 28 million or something. We know he's more go forward, but he can more than do a job. He's got that quality there. We know this, and now you know this as well. Yeah. So you've got options there. It's just the right-hand side, like going forward, kills you. You've got a great striker in Isak. The left with Gordon.
I like our fullbacks. I like our young
fullbacks as well. Livramento and Lewis Hall. Ballers. Ballers. I don't care. But yeah,
I hear
we'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to see on Wednesday night.
AJ.
I worry. The thing is, we have to get the center back partnership right with Burr because we have Botman back, but he didn't play against Fulham. He didn't play at all. So I don't know if Eddie Howe goes with Burn Botman or if he goes with Botman Share. Like I don't know, but he's gonna have to. I would go with I'd probably go Burn and Botman, to be honest, because that's what we did against you the first leg.
But we got to go at it, man. We got to go at it. And the thing is, we're going off of, after this win, the players should be confident after this win. You know what I'm saying? And they got to take that the way that they took the opportunities in the second half. That's why I said we need to build off to the second half, and we have to show that for 90 minutes against Newcastle. You guys are also not a joke, and we can't be naive, but we also have to impose ourselves on the game. And even though we were very defensive, Rashid and me, we're both doing a watch along. We're very defensive this game. We still, had opportunities going forward, and we have to take those opportunities. So that's what we got to do against Newcastle. AJ, you've been waiting patiently, bro. What are you saying? Then we got AK, the main event. But AJ.
Hey, listen, big up the panel, big up everyone in the chat. Hey, today's been sick, 5-1 against City. AK's ran out of bullets. Peak for him right now. But as far as Pep Guardiola is concerned, that Paella Vin Diesel, he's done out here, man. How much has he spent? And in January, like that window for City wasn't good because why didn't you get a right back? Like what Mateus Nunes that left a right back is always a disaster waiting to happen because
they need to go to 3 at the back, bro. They need to go 3 at the back.
At this point, they can't do worse.
Yeah,
and it is what it is. As far as the game was concerned, I thought we'd win. No, I never said anything about 5-1. This was a blessing, man.
Yeah.
And how can I say, man, divine justice, because Rashid brought back some painful memories when he said Arsenal were getting smacked up by City. That's what I grew up on, man. And seeing this,
I definitely didn't grow up on it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're showing your age there. You know what I'm saying? I definitely
not old, so that doesn't count.
Needed to die. I remember when we slapped City 5-0 at Highbury, bro. That's not this one.
You man are old, so that doesn't count.
Look at this guy. Look at it. We're moving on. Look at this guy getting cheeky, AK, look at it, trying to bring the mood down. AK, what you say? What you saying, my G? Now, real talk, you need to chat now. Today, you got to chat. Now, I want to hear something. There's not going to be that one.
Stay humble.
Today, we need an explanation.
Guys, go get the popcorn because this is going to be beautiful.
What's going on?
Oh,
Huh? ¿Qué pasó? AK, what's going on, bro? Huh? Well, looking like Voldemort with the hoodie and that. Nah, we need an explanation, bro. What happened today?
I'm
Look at this
loving
guy.
it.
Yeah,
Now,
first
now
of
his
all-
internet's lagging, yeah? Now all of a sudden he's
Hiya,
You know,
first
man.
of all,
scratching his head.
man,
Hiya.
Omar
AK,
Mamouche's cousin.
He's like Arteta when he got asked about the striker. Huh? What? I didn't understand. Repeat the question.
we cannot replace him. We cannot replace him. Come on, bro. What's going on with your team, bro?
yeah, first of all, pick up the chat, pick up the panel here. And, I don't know. I mean, it's like I'm trying not to harm my mental health in the first place. I'm just trying to laugh it off. I mean, I don't know whether to laugh or whether to fucking cry, but bloody hell.
Mm.
This is again one of the worst performances I've seen from this team. We score an equalizer in the second half, at the start of the second half, and then later on we go on and concede 5 goals. 5 goals. I mean,
4 goals, but yeah.
total.
His head's gone, man.
Where do I even start about this? First of all, yeah, Ortega has had one of his worst games ever. Ever since that Real Madrid ever since that draw at Real Madrid last season. But again, this is one of his worst performances again. Again, those at the back. Where do I even start with my defenders? Yeah, Stones, Bozo, Akanji, Bozo, giving a cheap pass to Odegaard and just letting him give him a free goal to score. And
Whoever's doing that, you're tapped.
nah, trust me, I'm fuming, but I'm fuming from inside after seeing
What
that
are you saying,
horrible
AK?
performance
Are
yesterday.
you done with the manager? Like, what's going on? Because we got the violins out, we got everything out. What's going on? Like, you done with the manager? I mean, what's
Are you
going on?
Pep out? I hope he's Pep out.
No. I mean, why would I be Pep after he's won us so many trophies in the past for the past 7 years? The past 7 years, he has taken us to heights.
So how long do you give Pep? Because you're not going to win a major honor this season. How long do you give Pep? Okay, this season you're not going to win. Do you give him to the end of next season, or do you give him what, 3 years? Or how long do you give him?
I'm gonna give him 2 years.
So
2 years,
this year
and next season, and Northside, yeah, and Northside. This one, I mean, I'll tell you what, Northside. I'm gonna tell you this. Next season, we better fix this up. My team, I mean, yeah, of course, but next season, my club better fix this up because, I mean, of course, we are currently in pursuit of Porto's midfielder, Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And of course, we are getting in the signings. We are active in the market, but then we're just delaying things. So I would say, yeah, this season, forget it. This season, forget it. It's a write-off for my club. It's a write-off this season.
You need a rebuild. In the summer, you need a rebuild. When I was speaking to LB, another City fan, he told me that your board and your sporting director wanted a rebuild. Pep was the one that said he didn't want the rebuild. So yeah, man, it's one of them ones, bro. It's a bit long for you. Like, I can't even lie. You need a rebuild, but you're showing. I mean, you guys are being proactive in the January transfer window. You're being more proactive than Arsenal. You're being more proactive than Liverpool. You're being more proactive than Chelsea. So we all expect your team to get back to to the heights they need to be, and not rest on their laurels. But we will see. You're giving him 2 years. Okay, that's fair. You know, he has won everything. He has dominated the Premier League. He did do the treble. I get it. I get why you're not going to be, Pep out. I was playing, I was obviously messing around. But yeah, he's won so much that you can give him some time because it's like, okay, well, he needs some time to rebuild. Let's see what he does when he rebuilds the team. But he's learned his lesson that he can't rest on his laurels and be cocky enough to think, oh, well, I'm just going to win it again. I know nobody here expected Slot to be top of the league. I surely didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But at the same time, this is the problem in football. And this is the problem with my club. We think that we're just going to be second every season just based off everybody else being crap. But you never know what your rivals are going to do. You never know what managerial appointments can change the club and how can they affect the club and what they would do. Hence why Liverpool are in the position that they're in and they only got Chiesa in. So it's one of them ones. I think, listen, everyone can talk now, but I'm just going to say this. I'm happy with the win, but my issues with this club still remain. In-game management today. Yes, you made the right subs, but I've seen you make these subs today. I felt like the players took it upon themselves. Looking at the bench, we still don't have enough players that are good enough to get us over the line. We have too many gaps in key positions. There's too many players also being overlooked. Like I said, Ethan performed today because of Ethan, not because of Arteta. When you're bringing on a player in the 82nd and 83rd minute, you're not giving him a platform to perform. He's performing despite the limited minutes. And I've been saying this about this kid this whole season. He's performing despite the lack of faith from this manager. You know what I'm saying? And that is the problem. Yeah, you're trusting in Lewis Skelly. I would argue Ethan has been even better with limited minutes than Skelly. Skelly's been very good, but Ethan's been very, very good, bro. And every time he's played 90 minutes, he's been man of the match. Both of them deserve minutes. Let's just keep it real. If you're going to argue me Skelly deserves to play, then Ethan deserves to play. Yeah. Because he was the man of the match in the cups that he started. This is the second time he comes off the bench with 15 minutes here to perform and scores a goal. What else does this kid need to do? Does he need to do a hat trick every game to score, to get into the team? It doesn't make any sense. Let's keep it real. Trossard today wasn't that great. Why is he always starting? You can't justify to me Trossard and Martinelli starting and not Ethan. Martinelli wasn't that bad. This wasn't the worst game that I saw from Martinelli.
I thought he was good, actually. I thought he was good.
Yeah, I think he was decent today. But at the same time, if we're gonna, the team has to be built, upon performances. Yeah, at the end of the day, whoever's in form and is performing needs to be getting minutes. Odegaard wasn't great today. Why does Odegaard get him back into the team, but Ethan doesn't start? Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I have an answer.
Go on.
The thing is, I think whenever Arteta fails at something, his problem is that he overcorrects. Remember our first title challenge? We went all out attack every single game, and our inability to defend shot us our title hopes. Last season, we were too defensive. And so we caught the right balance, but we were just unlucky in certain moments. This season, he's been too defensive. And when having seen Saka's injuries pile up as a result of Arteta overplaying him, he's being deliberately cautious with Ranieri. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but he's at least showing he can learn from his mistakes, even if he often goes in too far on the other side. It is what it is.
But this is what I'm saying. But he's overcautious with certain. You're not overcautious with players that are injured and then they get re-injured, i.e. Saka. You're telling us that, but the player's young. We've got to monitor the player because they're young. But you overplay Odegaard and you overplay Saka, for example. They're still young players. Yeah, they're not 17, but young is not just 17, 18. 22, 23 is still a young player. So how come it's different rules for different players? You know what I'm saying? When it's other players, you'll play them into the ground. Martinelli as well. You overplay Martinelli, bro, until Trossard, you know what I'm saying, started showing that he was playing better, but in this season, he's kind of falling off. So you overplay Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, but then you tell us about we're monitoring players. It don't make no sense, bro. The time you really need to monitor players is when they're coming back from injury or when they are carrying an injury. That's when we can justify you saying, I'm monitoring the player. That's completely justified. But when players are performing, I'm sorry, bro. And I always make this example. Look at Cole Palmer. Didn't have a platform to perform at Man City. Had a platform to perform at Chelsea. That's why he becomes the player that he is. You have to give players an opportunity and a platform to go on. How do we have Saka? Saka was given a platform. He was rewarded by his good performances. He was rewarded. When he was in the team, who was he compared to somebody like an Aubameyang or an Ozil or players like that? Who is he? But he was playing well, so he was rewarded. We don't do that. And at the same time, I understand when you're monitoring players when they're not performing and you need to get them out on loan. But when they're performing, what's the excuse? It makes no sense, bro. Skelly needs to start. Ethan needs to start. Ethan needs to start. I don't care if you got to go back on what you in Odegaard as a captain. I'm sorry, too many games now. It's been the last 2-3 games. Odegaard has not put captain-worthy performances in. He's not been effective enough. Yet he always plays. I'm not hearing it, bro.
It's the PR.
You know,
No, I'll drop my final piece before I go. Yeah. AK. I suppose this season, honestly, for me, wasn't that big a shock because after you won the treble and you let Mahrez go and you let Gundogan go, you guys did not have a good window, and you nearly lost the title. And then this summer you brought Gundogan back when you shouldn't have. Sevilla was a good signing, but you didn't address the more obvious holes in the squad. You didn't get backup for Haaland to replace Julian Alvarez. You didn't replace Kyle Walker. Like when you get complacent, when you build complacency as a habit, life will slap you real hard. We did that. We did that this summer. Hell, I'd argue Liverpool did that this summer, but they got bloody lucky with Arne Slot. And when you build complacency, game over. It is what it is.
I think Man City has a aging midfield as well. Look at KDB, bro. Like he's finished. He's been finished for time, bro. Like he can't run. And he tried to put that pass, and it didn't come off. Whereas before, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, probably would have come off. He would have played that pass better. Playing consistently, but he's not playing consistently anymore.
Kovacic, another older guy in midfield. Yeah.
Bernardo Silva.
I gotta go big up the panel. I got.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Phil Foden as well. Like he ghosted the whole game, and still he didn't even create. Like he didn't really offer nothing on that left on the right hand side. I think.
But he was playing in the middle, Macy. Because you have Savinho on the right or the left, and then Marmoush, shouldn't it? So I don't even think Pep's team that he picked was that bad. But the players ain't doing it no more. Like the more experienced ones, obviously you got John Stones coming back from injury, yeah. Akanji is a complete bozo. We all know he's hit and miss. Do you know what I'm saying? We saw that in the Euros. We've seen that in the past. I was more not shocked, but I was like, I didn't understand why Pep just didn't bring on, because I saw Lewis Skelly warming up before the game and that, because he played last season and he was their best player. Why didn't he play at right back? Right back is a massive issue for City. Massive.
Natster.
And Natster. We had Kusanov and Victor Hayes on the bench.
Yeah.
We had two of our new signings on the bench. I was shocked that why aren't we bringing them on? Because if you notice, like if you notice after the second goal that you scored, the way that we were defensively playing was absolutely shocking in my eyes.
It was so slow, AK. In that second half, you couldn't play out of any press. Arsenal were freaking relentless with that press, and you couldn't get anything out. You could barely get the ball out of your own half.
We've been doing this, Steve. We've been doing this against teams. Everybody sees it. The thing is that we can't break down a team. Today, City, City when Haaland scored, that was the moment where you bring on KDB. Macy said it, bro. I agree with him 100%. Why? KDB can open that block that we had in the defense. They didn't have no one that can open, that has vision like KDB, that can find players. That's what was lacking at City. And to be honest, if I was Pep, if I saw my defenders doing what they were doing, I'll sub them off. It can't go any worse. You know how many balls the defenders or the whole or trying to build up from the back. And you know how many all our goals were basically gifted. It's like fucking Christmas, bro, today. Like
they played into your strengths. They played into your opposition played into your strengths.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Pep, What Pep is failing to realise or has just has lost his head. I think it's more the latter. But like when you persist with Núñez, who ain't even that good of a midfielder, let's be real, you got him from Wolves, right? He was meant to be a squad filler.
And he got him from Wolves.
Yeah, he was meant to be a squad filler. And yet this guy is playing him at right back when you've got two new signings and then you've got one that's played right back before, who I rate. Rico Lewis is a good player. He's a very good player, especially on the ball. But even defensively, he's definitely competent enough. Whereas Nunes is bang average in midfield. So why did he think it was going to work today? Oh, because it's Arsenal. Stay humble and all of that bullshit. Like, come on, man.
That's why they need to go at 3 at the back, because you have center back. You have, even though Ruben Diaz was injured, and also there's another center back they had out. I forget his name. And another center back.
Yeah, Nathan Ake, who also which is where Guardiola's playing. Guardiola's filling in for left back, which is
Nathan Ake, correct.
But you miss Nathan Ake. That's the thing. Like, obviously, you miss Ruben Diaz. The north side, because obviously you're Portuguese. He's there or thereabouts. You could debate world-class level centre back, but Nathan Ake for me, for City, like, he's a massive miss. I've always rated him, like, even before when he was at Chelsea, Bournemouth. We went to Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth was where we really like, solid. He could play left back, play centre back.
But not start. Don't you think that it was a mistake playing Bernardo Silva, which one of my favorite players, by the way? Now he's not doing that well. But like playing him as a number 6 and Kovacic. Kovacic is known, he's all right, he's a good player, but like playing them as a 6, you're trying to get the ball off us. The thing is that we have midfielders that are physically strong. We're physical in the midfield, and playing those 2 midfielders against us was just a dumb idea.
Well, and they wear down energy-wise. They don't have stamina anymore. Kovacic and
no legs. That's the thing, Steve. No legs and way too weak. You're spot on. Both of you are spot on. Yeah, that Man City midfield looked way too weak. Our midfield, minus Odegaard, of course, although it was. Well, it was a throwback to the midfields we used to have. You know, like the Vieiras, the Petits, the Gilberto Silvas, and like even Edu as a player, as a director of football, obviously he's garbage. You know, Edu sucks toes and all that. But as a player, he was a baller, as we know. Let's be real. Let's keep it all the way James Brown funky in this bitch, right? He was a quality player. And like, I want us to get back to that. And I put a comment in. Obviously, you saw it, Rashid, like when you did your stream with Normski earlier, I want this robotic football to be over, and hopefully this is the beginning of the end. And I have to tell you, AK, like if you want to keep Pep for a couple of years longer, I totally understand it, innit? For what he's done for you, like for what he's won for your club, I hear it. But if you keep playing like this robotic football, not giving the ballers, the freedom that they deserve, so the Bernardos and all of that, sorting out your like player personnel, with the signings that you are always going to bring in, this January, in the summer as well, like addressing those areas, like you're going to struggle next season as well, because
they need to buy midfielders.
You need to have, like, these players need freedom, especially the ballers. When you don't have the ball, you have the structure, you have the right players in the right positions, doing the job, doing the business. And then going forward, in the last final third or whatever, that's when you get the Savinhos and all that, the Marmoush, he'll probably get better over time, like to produce their moments of magic and then put it on a plate for Haaland, because that's what he's there to do. You can't.
They didn't give Marmoush the ball enough in that game.
No, they didn't. And Savinho was quiet. I rate Savinho. Yeah. He was very quiet tonight. Very quiet. Didn't really do much other than put the ball in for Haaland. That's all he did. That's all he did. And we did well tonight, but
and that's
it is what it is.
I'll rectify on your point that you have made about the way we are playing. Yeah, this robotic football, this kind of football that we have been playing for years, it's not working at all. It's not working this season anymore. Now we are getting found out by. Today we got found out by you lot. Yeah, we got found out by PSG. We got found out by who? Juventus.
Brentford got a draw late.
Brentford, and then Man United. Man United managed to beat us.
They get found out.
You just give away two. You give away,
and then Liverpool beat us.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
this many chances. You give away way too many.
I'm telling you, this football that we are playing right now. Yeah, I totally agree that this other football needs to end.
But you know what the good thing is?
Especially for my team as well, it needs to end.
AK, you know what the good thing is with Pep, though? He's been at Man City for close to a decade, we've seen y'all play different ways, different formations, different personnel. Pep has shown that's why it's perfectly reasonable to trust in Pep over the next however long, because he's shown that he can adapt. He's shown. You will see this year they'll play 3-5 or sorry, not 3-5, maybe 3-5-2, 3-4-1-2, 3-4-2-1. Like he'll mix it up because we've seen, or 3-1-4-2. I think that was the formation you mainly used in the treble year, Stones, and then Rodri and what's it called, Gundogan, Silva. So like we've seen like evolution in Man City. You've replaced Fernandinho with Rodri. Like you got him in while Fernandinho is still there, so that Rodri could ease in, just like what Real Madrid are trying to do with their old midfield three. They brought in Chouameni and Camavinga while Modric and those guys were still there, so the transition was seamless. You don't want to lose a player like Fernandinho and then have a year of I don't know where you're going to
and
get.
you let them learn under those players as well. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like, Fabregas came through when we were still successful. That Fabregas was here under the Invincibles, and then he transitioned. But he learned under those players. Do you know what I'm saying? I think Adebayor was here as well. I think he was here when we had the Ribena kit. You know what I'm saying? I think Adebayor was here. So this is what I'm saying. These players start to see the level, and then you can teach them the level through those players. The manager, it actually eases the burden on the manager because they see through the examples of in training, in game, how you conduct yourself, how you conduct the game. Do you know what I mean? They got leadership as well as they're learning. This has been the biggest problem with Arsenal. We ripped up the Invincibles, and then we expected a load of youngsters, the English core, or when we went to go get a lot of youngsters as well from abroad and expect them to all become world class. Players need leadership on the pitch as well. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got a captain. The captain's supposed to help and assist the manager. The manager can set you up to win. But when you're in game, you need players to also call each other out and tell each other where they need to be, how to play the position, to kick back, manage the game. Don't be doing stupidness. There's different forms of leadership in football. It's not just on the manager. Because when you're out on the pitch, the manager can't micromanage every spot that you go to. But your player next to you, if you got Patrick Vieira, or if you got Thierry, he's gonna say, "Yo, go there, go." You know what I mean? Look at Benzema with Vinicius. Do you know what I'm saying? Vinicius was Benzema was the one to tell Vinicius, keep it simple and run me the ball quicker. When I make the run, release it now. That wasn't the manager having to tell him that. That was somebody that's a veteran that's won it all, that's been there and done that. And because he's been there and done that, the player respects it. You know what I'm saying? The player respects what the manager is saying, and the player respects the player because he's like, yo, that's Benzema. I ain't going to start chatting back to Benzema. Benzema's won it all. Do you get me? And this is the problem that we did. We stripped ourselves of leaders, and then we're expecting these kids to become leaders. No, you need leaders also on the pitch, bro. Because the manager can't micromanage every single flipping situation. And football ain't played slow motion, bro. It's a fast-paced game. So you need people that are already on the pitch that know what you're supposed to do. Man United always had Giggs, Scholes. Do you know what I'm saying? All these players that were also helping the players that were coming through. Look at Ronaldo, the way he speaks about Man United. I went to Man United, Rio Ferdinand was telling me what I had to do and what I didn't have to do. Do you know what I'm saying?
North side.
Telling me what the levels were.
North side. We had David Silva. North side. Before Rodri, Bernardo, and KDB came in. I mean, like KDB was with Aguero, Silva during that decade when he came in. So, yeah, we had bowlers like David Silva. We had Yaya Toure. We had Aguero. We actually had an amazing squad over the years. And then later on, once Pep came, then later on, once they left, Cheeky started the whole. Cheeky actually started the whole new rebuild.
Yeah, bro.
When he brought in Bernardo, he brought in Rodri.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is? You'll get to a point that we're at and that Yasser's at. That you can strip your club of all that experience and players that know how to get over the line. And then guess what? Once you get all the youngsters in, what are you looking for? Experienced winners. This is why you don't need to strip it. Like if you some of those players, could do a job if you're not depending on them. If they're coming in for the last couple of minutes, they can do a job. The problem is you're relying on them for 90 minutes, week in, week out. That's the problem. They ain't got the legs to perform week in, week out no more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Yasser will tell you, yo, he needs quality goalkeeper, quality centre backs. He needs a quality proven striker. And that's the additions that he needs, bro. So you don't need to completely strip all the experience out of the team. You still need a core of players that know what it means to play for Man City and knows what it means to control an occasion. And somewhere like a semi-finals or finals doesn't get to their head. They've been there, done that. They know to be like, yo, chill. Play your game. Don't get overexcited. Don't do anything stupid. And that is the thing, bro, because Yasser's team, Chelsea and Arsenal, that's what we lack. We lack proven winners that know what it means to get over the line and knows what it means in the crunch end to perform and get yourself over the line. Even if the team ain't playing well, they know what it means to get back into the game. Don't get drawn into that. Don't get drawn into this. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do something.
That's why they brought back Gundogan.
Bro, it's
albeit it hasn't worked out on the pitch, but he's probably providing something. Like off
Gundogan, the thing is Gundogan, he didn't probably expect Gundogan to play as many games as he's doing now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the issue, that all of a sudden he's relying on him. Even Kovacic, you know, is another guy that he's fully ending up relying on. So it's kind of when tits up for Pep in some ways, if that makes sense. But it's kind of on him as well because he didn't want to do that rebuild.
They're having a season similar to the one when Liverpool won the league, because they were way off. I mean, to be fair, when Liverpool won the league a few years ago under Klopp, they won that league by like 15, 20 points. It was stupid. But Man City in that year,
by 1 point, they were 90 plus points, 95 plus points, like 2-3 seasons in a row. They are relentless, but you can't keep that shit up. Look at Real Madrid, best example on the whole planet. Look at Real Madrid. We were talking about before, Chouameni, Camavinga. Cruz is no longer there. You know, Valverde stepped up. Obviously, you got Bellingham in that 10, you know, doing his thing or whatever. I don't rate him that highly at all, but he does get you goals. And this is why you also need a world-class, proven, proper manager like Don Carlito, bro. He's been there, done that, seen it, and won it all. And he's got a very calm head. Like, he's got the most composure I've ever seen in football.
And his man management is always brilliant.
Yeah, in this day and age, that is exactly what you need. And that's why I've been cussing this manager. That's why you, Northside, have been cussing this manager. Guns, most of us here, and on other shows and panels, I could go on. But football is a very simple game. It's not complicated. If you have the right people in the right positions, in the right places, especially at board level, it works. At Real Madrid, why do they win Champions League season after season for the most part? Because they have the right players, they have the quality, they got the world-class manager, and they got the board, you know, bad boy Don Carlito, and with Perez as well.
But Don Carlito, look what you just said. Even when they didn't have a striker before they got Mbappe, they had Rodrigo. They were playing like two wingers up front, Vinny and Rodrigo up front. You know what I'm saying? So they had experience. They didn't have the right player, didn't have the right striker.
And even Hosselu would
lead the line. Yeah, but who was leading the line? It was an experienced.
Yeah, Hosselu.
But this is what I'm saying. With a young team, like Camavinga and all those players, the manager was experienced. So he made up for the deficiencies of the team. Of course, they still had to address it. They still went and got Mbappe, but they didn't put an inexperienced team with an inexperienced manager. And that is the difference. We've got an inexperienced team led by an inexperienced manager. We're inexperienced in both places, bro. It doesn't make sense. You got to make up for it. If you ain't got the right players, and if you're not going to go out there and get the players that you need a manager that's going to get the most out of that team. It's the same thing with flipping Unai Emery at Villarreal when he got a small budget, but they had a manager there that is a specialist at getting over the line in the Europa League. So he kind of makes up for the lack of quality within the team. But you can't have inexperience on top of inexperience and expect success. With Arsenal, it's like inexperienced manager, inexperienced team, inexperienced sporting director, and an inexperienced ownership that don't understand Premier League football. How is that a successful group or collaborative operation?
Like franchise, like it's
exactly it's going to be able to win you stuff. It's inexperience on top of inexperience. Like, this is the problem. We need to get specialists. We don't need to go and try and reinvent the wheel. You need people that are specialists in the job. If you're going to have inexperienced team, which isn't ideal. You need a manager that understands to get the most out of them. And this is why I put it on Arteta, because when he's moaning about, well, we're looking at the market. Well, bro, at the end of the day, you have to be the difference maker. If you want robotic players and you want to play robotic football, you have to be the difference maker, because you've got players that only play within a system. I'm liking that some of these players now are playing with outside the system, but how long is it going to be for? Are you not going to do this against Newcastle when we're struggling? Because the last time we played Newcastle, you didn't. You man need to also take accountability for your performances. And one thing I liked about today, I didn't like every aspect of our game today, but one thing I liked about it is players taking chances. And it's been a long time since we played like that. And this is why I always talk about Alexis Sanchez. He was the last player that I felt like, bun whatever the manager's saying, I'm going to take the game and I'm going to win us the game. Chelsea used to have Hazard, bro. He used to just take the game and say, yo, I'm going to win us the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need more of, man. We just need to build on the second half. The way we played in the second half, we need to build upon that. But we also can't be relying on Thomas Partey, Lewis Skelly to be scoring us goals. Our front line needs to be more clinical. Trossard needs to step up. Havertz needs to take his opportunities. Martinelli needs to take his opportunities as well. We can't just be relying on defensive players and thinking that they're going to get us over the line. That's also not a sustained way of winning football games, bro. We were doing that with Gabriel. We've dropped points. Regardless that we're good at set pieces, we've dropped points. We need our we need our attacking three to also contribute on a consistent basis. And you can praise them as much as you want today, but we needed that against Newcastle. We needed that against Man United. We needed that against Bournemouth. We needed that against Milan. Do you know what I'm saying? We needed you lot to perform. So as much as we can give you props, we're still looking at the season up till now and saying you guys have been inconsistent. You guys have been relying way too much on dark hearts and set pieces. We need to push on. And the mad thing is, we know that the players can play like this. We said 2 seasons ago, the same group of players were able to play attacking football. Where's that gone? Where's that gone? We know that these players are able to do this. We've seen this before under this manager. We know that they can play like this. And today, it wasn't even that we was amazing in every counter-attack, but we know that they have the ability to do that. They've done it before. So do it on a consistent basis. There's a time and a place where you shut up shop and you say, all right, cool, we're gonna defend our lead. I completely understand that. But we shouldn't be doing that for the second half as soon as we go 1-0 up. We shouldn't be doing that, bro.
We need 90-minute performances, Northside. That's another thing. 90-minute performances. And what I loved as well today is that you see Gabriel, right? You mentioned Gabriel earlier. Gabriel's the real captain. And I believe all the players know this as well at Arsenal. All the players at Arsenal, even the backroom staff, they all know deep down who the real captain is. It's Gabriel. And you'd have like a Rice, as an example, in my eyes, as a vice captain, innit? But Gabriel's the main guy. No matter how limited his English is, I don't give a shit about that. He's the captain, not Odegaard. Odegaard is only high in the pecking order because of his wages, and he's the manager's teacher's pet. That's it. We all know this. It's not rocket science. So we are literally relying on basically Gabriel leading this team. Is it going to be enough against Newcastle on Wednesday? I don't know. Is it going to be enough in the latter stages of the Champions League, whoever we're facing next? Doubt it. You know, all the other Premier League teams that we got to play, it's not so much the level of opposition, it's at the point of the season towards the end. April, especially late April, May, when it matters. Can we deliver? That's all I want to know. That's the only answer I'm looking for. Can we get over the line? I don't want to hear a gal, Rory talks bollocks, or any of them other motherfuckers saying, oh, but it's progress. Oh, but it takes time. We were unlucky. And what? Stop making excuses. A lot of these players are better than what they've been showing over the last year or two. Like you mentioned earlier, Northside, we can play attacking football. We have multiple ways of playing, just like Man City, AK was saying earlier. They have multiple ways of playing because Pep has shown this. Even Arteta, with his limited time in management, never mind at Arsenal, has shown this. So go out there and prove your worth. If you're on 300k a week, I expect results. I expect the ball in the back of the net, week in, week out. Not just one and be like, oh, but he tried. And all of that fucking bullshit, yeah? I'm not hearing it. The time is over. It's over.
No,
Give me the results or piss off.
That's what I'm saying. There's people in the chat saying, "Are you in the mud?" The time to say that I'm in the mud is if we win a major honor this season. Then you can spam the chat with "I'm in the mud."
Yeah.
I will tell all the mods. I will unmod you if you block anyone. End of the season, we win a major honor. I'm in the mud. Let them say I'm in the mud. I don't care. But right now, because we beat Man City, we ain't won nothing. We have
Only
not won-
yesterday's in the mud.
You get
Only
me?
yesterday's in
So-
the mud.
Oh, Sanchez,
Bro,
love
that's what
me.
I'm saying. Yeah, but all of us, but bro, I want to be in the. I will actually be so happy. I'll be drinking a Maggie and just laughing at the comments because all I wanted is to win a major honor, bro. That's all I want, and consistently compete, but also get over. I don't want this 20-year gap of winning. I understand we're not going to win year in, year out. I understand that. There shouldn't be a 20-year gap. It shouldn't even be half of that with a club this size. I'm not hearing any of that. So it's one of them ones. Yeah, you want to tell me I'm in the mud? No problem. Tell me I'm in the mud if we win a major honor at the end of the season. But
To
big
be
up to
fair,
everyone
though-
that's locked in, man. Go on, yes, quickly.
To
Go
be
on.
fair though, you were kind of in the mud when Havertz scored. I mean, that's the only time you were in the mud because you kept cussing him, yeah, and then he scored as well. That was funny.
Yeah, but that's what he needed, some African discipline, bro. And he understood. You know what I'm saying? That's what he needed, bro. Trust me, that'll get you performing real quick, bro. You know what I'm saying? But big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up to Yassa. Make sure you subscribe to Yassa TV. Strasbourg Steve, subscribe to his channel as well. Big up Macy for jumping on. AK Natstar. Big up Devante as well. We're going to redirect to the Lee Gunner emergency stream. I will be on a bit later. I need to pop round to my mum's house real quick. So big up to everyone that's locked in, man.
Yeah, man,
And
big up.
we're out. Love.
Peace.